So why did this become so political? Because it seems like we started off this conversation, and most of these conversations start off with like an actual medical conversation about a condition and how best to treat the condition. And there's a debate between watchful waiting and, as you say, sort of affirmation. Watchful waiting in most of these areas was considered sort of the traditional way to go about these things. And there's been an attempt, even politically there, to treat watchful waiting as quote unquote conversion therapy, that if you go to a therapist and the therapist does not immediately recommend a course of treatment, then this is now considered conversion therapy in some places like California. How did this become so political when it really should be about how do we best treat people who have an obvious medical condition?
That's right. I think it happened in a series of lies that we allowed that we were too polite to contradict. Like we started with, this is a civil rights issue to allow them to have that medication. Well, giving someone access to a medication that could harm them isn't really a civil rights issue when it means suspending all medical judgment. Hold on. I mean, we should still subject it to the same scrutiny because we don't want transgender people to come to great harm. I mean, a lot of this medicals is enormously dangerous. We don't know the long-term, side effects and implications of giving a woman 10 to 40 times her normal testosterone levels for decades. And that's what you would have to do if she becomes a lifetime patient. So we allow these, little lies to be told. It's okay. She really is a man. She is a man. Let's change her birth certificates. And then we ended up in a place where we could no longer object.
And that is, I think a lot of the mission here is this idea that, I've said publicly, obviously, that when I'm discussing somebody who is trans, I use their biological pronouns. I say a man who believes he is a woman if we're talking about a trans woman, or I say a trans woman. But I won't say that somebody is a woman when they're not, in fact, a biological woman. Now, if I'm in the middle of a conversation with somebody who is trans, I'll call them whatever they want because you don't want to be impolite when you're in the middle of dinner with somebody. But there is this broader conversation that's now happening on social media, for example, where if you point out that Caitlyn Jenner is, in fact, a biological man, should you be banned from social media? I mean, it's reached the stage where full-scale First Amendment conversations are being shut down in the name of niceness.
That's right. And, I talk to a lot of older, what they used to call transsexuals, now referred to as transgender, but they never lie about the fact that they used to, that they grew up as boys, even though they now present as women. They never demand that everyone pretend they were always a woman. This is a very new thing, and it's part of the intolerance and extremism of this very young woke generation of young, the millennials and the Gen Z, who are so coercive, who are so intolerant, who are so illiberal, and who demand you recite after them. And it really is more part of that than it is part of the, traditional experience of transgender adults who are lovely, sober, rational, and they don't lie. I mean, I've interviewed a lot of them, and they're wonderful people, and these activists don't represent them at all.
Did you know that every like on this video creates one additional leftist tear gleaming in the sunshine? Don't ask me why. That's called science. To take advantage of this amazing opportunity, hit the like button.